So when you click PL, that's this also like 100% right. So yeah, PL you can use to, for example, to access the polyline command from the CAD toolbar. So only lines can be drawn as part of polylines. So yeah, almost like 3/4 of you have got this question right, because so what happens is the lines in our let's say the drawn as part of polylines, we can even include arcs, which we have done in our model space. So the answer is false, which 3/4 of you have got it right. So I think almost many of you have understood the concept that we have created for this quiz. So if is there any question till now at this point, based on the introduction, application, toolbar, and the basic geometry in AutoCAD?
Okay, so there is like, yes, so there was one question from Bhaskar. It's like he was asking, like, please let us know how to end the line or arc, and also erase the lines or arc.
Okay, yeah, we can discuss that. So for example, if you click a line, if you want to draw a series of line segments in your model space, you can select the first point and keep continuing. So what happens is, when you have drawn enough line segments, you can click escape to end the line segment, or what you can do is draw a line segment and then click enter. So this will let you end the line segment, or if you type the space bar in your key in your keyboard, it lets you select the last command that you did. So you can continue with your line segment even after ending it by clicking your space bar in your keyboard. And how to erase your line segment? So in the home toolbar, you can see a pencil pencil with erase icon. So it lets you can select objects and it will be erased. You can select objects, and then when you click enter, the object is erased, or by simply selecting the icon, and then you can click delete in your keyboard and it will erase the line segment. So if you're deleting a polyline, for example, if you're deleting a polyline or a circle, and if you want to delete only a portion of circle, so I would be suggesting you to remain careful, so that like you just delete a, if you just want to retain your bottom part of your arc, so just delete the top one and retain your bottom one, erase. So this lets you select icons and erase the object if you are if you want to wish to do it from the insert or the home toolbar. And if you are a keyboard person, you can just select it and click delete. So is there any other question in basic geometry?
No
yeah, okay. So I think we can switch to our next subtopic for the day, which is getting started with our text style and the let's click open. Yeah, so this is like whenever we are creating a drawing, what we are interested in is producing let's say like annotations, so that our drawings are clear and communicable to people who are viewing our drawings. So when you come to home tab, you can see a text. So the text is the icon that lets you create a single line text or a multi-line text. And when you select single line text, you can select your start point for the text. And then what happens is it asks you to specify height of the icon. So when you select a text, select your start point, and then you can select your specified height to be 3, and then rotation angle to be for example, if I want my rotation angle to be 30 degrees, you can see that a text parameter is created. So I can enter drawing A, and then it creates a text parameter for me. Similarly, single line text is that, for example, if you click here and then I say like it's going to be drawing A and I enter drawing B, and then if I choose cat space underscore B. So if you enter these text and then click escape, you can see that these texts are not visible anymore. So it is highly important to learn when to use your escape command and your enter command. So you have to choose a specific start point, and then what you can do, just to be clear for your visibility, we can choose a larger text for this case. You can make it 30, and when you click, let's say like CAD 8. So this icon has created a single line text for you, and you can use this to move the text or rotate your text at a specific angle. You can use these snap tools to achieve these features. So you can stretch this point so that you can widen your text, or you can use the polar tracking to place your text at a specific angle in your drawing space. So why do we need, what is the purpose of adding text to your drawing? So you might have taken some basic CAD courses during your engineering classes. So the purpose of text is to clearly communicate what your view is expressing. So you don't have to write a paragraph to explain what's in your drawing, but you can use text. So for example, if you create a plan view, so for example, you can, let's say if you are creating a plan view, what you can do is create a single line text below the view and then specify your start point, and then click the layouts and then say plan view below your project, or you can say plan view first floor level. So if you're creating a plan view from the first floor level, if you place this text below your model space, what is clear from this is that you're using a text to indicate what this view is expressing to the designer. So, and you can also add callouts. For example, if you're adding a drawing, and then if you are wanting to add callouts to a specific element, so what you can do is you can add callouts to a specific model element to add text annotations. Similarly, what is multi-line text? So let's use single line text to understand what's a multi-line text mean. So similarly, you can create a start point and then control your parameters, and then you can say plan view. You can call XYZ building, and then you say the first floor, and then you click enter. So what you see is each object is selected as a single object, three different objects. So why is multi-line text important? So for example, you can specify your first corner, and then you can specify your opposite corner of, and then you can use this icon to create a multi-line text. So let's say I am creating the same, let's say plan view, and then I click XYZ building, and then I say first floor. Then I click enter. So if you zoom into this view, what you can see is unlike the single multi-line text. The multi-line text has created a integrated note or text box for me. Why is this important? So for example, if you are placing a view title or a single line command, you can use the single line text to help you to place the plan view or the command that is required. Similarly, if you are adding a note or a annotation toolbar, you want this to be a part of your drawing. So you can use this combined icon to create a multi-line text that will integrate the text for you. Similarly, like how do you manage the text standards? You can manage your text properties here. So we have, let's say, the standard or manage text styles. When you come to the annotate tab, you have the first icon, multi-line text, which says standard. You can manage text styles. Yeah. What does the tab manage text styles let you do that? So manage text style is, it will let you control the font. You can choose the type of font that is necessary for your drawings. So you can control the way the drawing appears or it appears in your drawing. So there are specific formats or fonts that is to be used while uh, like presenting your drawings, and then you can use your current text style to modify the font. For example, you can use the standard one or you can create a new text style. I'm going to call this as style A, and then I click OK. And then I have, let's say, like I'm going to choose Arial. Let's say like I will choose something very common and standard, Cambria. And then I say the height can be 30. The width factor is 1. And then if I click apply, it has like changed the text standard. And I click close. So if you see, the current style has been set to style A. You can use these toolbar to switch between the style you want your text to be in, or select it and then switch to a particular style using the toolbar. So now you can get back to the standard toolbar, and similarly you can control the way the texts appear in our drawing. This is how the single line text and the multi-line text lets you add these annotation parameters. The next topic that we are going to discuss is based on the question that we received in our the first beginning part of session, how to add dimensions. So you can add dimensions either from the home tab that lets you create dimensions with a single command, or you can come to annotate to add dimension. So you can, if you are adding annotation for, let's say, like the drawings, you can select this particular, so you can see that, yeah, this is in metric units and it has created the annotation parameter for me. So how do we control the dimension style? So you can control your dimension style similar to what we have seen it from the text parameters. You can manage your dimension styles, and I have used standard Indian standard dimension, which we use for most of the drawings in our like when we produce it for construction or architectural drawings, or machine drawings. So or you can use standard or create a new let's say like let's say we can, like how we called it style A for textile, we can call it style B, and then we can say like I want my text color to be red, I can fill color to be red, and like how you make changes, you can see that this like how it appears, it changes in the right part of the screen. And you can use how your text placement, it needs to be above or outside, or if it needs to be below. And as you make these changes, you can see how it is controlled in your view settings. And you can control your arrow size. So if I make it, you can see, yeah, my arrow size gets reversed and changed in the drawings. So you can control the view settings and styles either based on a standard like Indian standards have provided you, or like you can judge it. Like if you are a designer or a modeler and you want to govern it based on your like if it is aesthetic, you can, if you want to use it, you can create those standards in AutoCAD and then use it as current dimension style. So as you can see, my current like drawing is in the ISO 25, and I have added dimensions in helping me to create these drawings. So if you want to create, for example, a linear dimension. So what does linear dimension do is it lets you create a linear dimension with horizontal, vertical, or rotated dimension line. So you can use, for example, in your command window, if you use dim. So the dimension toolbar pulls out so many other commands for you. The dimension linear or dimension style, or if you click dimension horizontal. So dim horizontal lets you add horizontal dimension, or dim vertical lets you measure the vertical dimension between the modeling elements, or you can use a quick toolbar. So quick toolbar lets automatically creates series of dimensions from selected objects. So you can use it if you're just checking certain parameters in your drawing. Otherwise, I would suggest you to manually place dimensions when you're creating drawings, because one disadvantage that I have seen while using quick dimension is that sometimes it will add too many dimensions. For example, if you are adding, let's say like we have added annotations in our detailed drawing. So we have like say, let's say like added dimension between the grids. And then I have not constrained the interior wall width. So what it does mean is, if I don't want to be exactly specific on this room width, I don't have to give the interior dimension to the person who's producing the drawings or the modeling sheets. What I can either do is, if I use the quick drawing phase, it will create all the dimensions, and some of those dimensions might not be necessary from the design purpose of view. So you can use the standard, let's say like the create a dimension style, and use your dimension style to create these annotation settings. It will let you create like reasonable dimensions based on your judgmental call. So now, if you're producing a circle, let's say like if I have a circle and then I want to produce a center mark, it creates center mark based on the selected objects. Or if I want to draw center line, it draws center line based on, if I want to mirror, let's say like the geometry and everything is symmetrical about the center line, I can do it. Say, let's say like this is a symmetrical plane for me. For example, if I select this particular object, it will create a center line, and I can say that this is symmetrical about each like vertical plane and the horizontal plane. So center mark and center line lets you add these dimension lines. Similarly, if you use multi-leader, it creates a multi-leader object. So you can specify the leader head for AutoCAD. So you can call out, let's say like I can say this is a base plate, and then yes. So if you control your text style, you can see that this particular layout will point to the base plate, and then will add a layer to point call out as base plate. You can add multiple layers do the same. If you want to point to more than one object, if I have series of base plates, I can use add icon, or I can remove a leader. If I select this, it will remove the leader for me. Similarly, you can use these toolbar settings that will help you in adding a particular layer, or let's say like removing a particular layer to add detailed annotations to your drawing. The next toolbar that is necessary for adding annotations and drafting to your drawing is the table. So you can use standard tables that will let you create 5 columns and 4 objects. So table has standard parameters. It has a title bar, and it has header bar, and then a data bar. So if you click 5 columns and 4 rows, and then if I click OK, it has created a data for me. So I can create table of contents. Then I say A, B, C, D, and E as my header. So as you can see, it has created data bar for me, A, B, C, D, and E, and then I have the title bar created as table of contents. So similarly, you can control the size of text and the appearance that it looks at. So by using the text styles and the table styles. So it is kind of a trial and error, or you can use a standard text size, style and width that is provided to you in creating these table toolbars. Or you can either create the standard one, or you can manage your table styles, like how we did for the annotation styles and the dimension annotation text styles and the dimension styles. Similarly, you can extract data and then revise or link data. So if you have a data that is like say that it is saved in an external file, you can use or extract those data to merge in your current file. It will export it as an object property, and then it will link it to your current file, which you can use it in as you progress with your modeling phase. Link data. So link data is nothing but AutoCAD lets you link the data or table to Excel or a CSV file. So if you have a schedule or table of contents linked to an Excel file, and then you want to link it to AutoCAD, you can link it using this link data feature. So it will link it and places the column, cell, and text on your CAD window based on what you have defined in your Excel screen. So this is how the way you can add a level of details to your drawing in AutoCAD. Either like certain icons such as revision cloud and wipeout are used in 3D modeling, and then when we produce some complex and intricate drawings in the next tomorrow session of the workshop, so we will discuss in which context we use revision cloud and wipeout commands. Similarly, what happens is like most of the times, if you let's say like if you zoom to scale, can see that none of it is appearing like visible, or you cannot like make use of like see how it appears in your drawing. So that is where view setting and view scale comes into picture. So your modeling is a real scale. Either you model to metric units or you model to imperial units, and then you model it to exact scale. So one another feature in adding dimensions and annotation is, so for example, if you're not if you're not annotating the drawing, if you're checking for measurements to see if your drawing is to the scale, you can use the utilities. So utilities are parameters that is offered to you in making the like their properties to aid it with AutoCAD to make your drawing or to make you a better modeler. So what happens is you can use this tab distance to measure the distance between lines instead of adding annotation. So if you're not happy with your length or line segment, you can control to like modify your measurements, and this is clearly visible compared to the annotation, which is slightly, you have to play trial and error to make it visible to the view settings that you need. Radius, if you want to measure the radius and diameter, you can measure the angle, area, volume using the utilities tab. So this is certain like feature that you can use while playing with annotation and drafting style. So we have another drafting style that we follow is hatch. So you can fill enclosed hatch area based on certain standards. If your drawing is an enclosed concrete space or a roof drawing, or if it is a clay or a like if it is a brick stone, you can use different parameters to indicate what your material is based on the hatch. So when we are drawing like plan views or floor plan views, everything looks similar because it is a series of rectangles and squares and rectangles that is drawn to your modeling space. So to distinguish between two model elements, you can use the hatch and gradients to like clearly identify between the two modeling elements. So we will discuss like what is the purpose of these hatching and gradient tools when we are discussing the detailed drawings in the clean and error-free drawings part in the next or few subtopics later. So now what we are going to do is take a momentary pause and then answer some questions based on the uh, drafting styles that are discussed. Yeah, so we have certain commands on the drafting and texting styles. So I would encourage you to take this quiz, and then based on the quiz responses and the questions we received, we will start discussing these questions answer session around like 5 minutes from now.
Sure. So this is also going to be a 5-minute session, like quiz, right?
Yeah, this is one of the quiz. Yeah.
Girish?
Yeah.
It seems like you have actually posted the same quiz, quiz number 2.
Is it? Let me
Yeah, can you
copy
just
the
try?
hyperlink, copy, and then okay, Control P. So can you check this link if it is this three? Sorry, I think it was not copied to the P.
No, this is a different one. This is
Okay.
actually different.
Yeah, you can take 5 minutes from now. We can discuss around like 7:20. Yeah. So now I think it's a good moment to take a look at the responses and discuss the questions you have on drafting and annotation styles. So yeah, the frequently missed, like I think most of you have got more than 3 questions right. So the most frequently missed questions were the single line text cannot be used for, let's say like cannot be used for entering multiple line text. Yeah, you can use single line text to enter. For example, if you get back to like the dimension styles, and then if you annotate, and then we have text parameters. So when you select a single line text, and then let's go to the home tab, and then let's select a single line text, and then let's say 30 height and then 0 degree rotation. And then for example, if you mention, let's say width, then height, and then you say that you have a interior wall. So you can create a multi-line text. So the you can use single line text to create a multi-line text, but the problem is it won't be integrated as one unit like how you create with your multi-line text in the AutoCAD window. So the other question that was most commonly missed was dimension styles can be changed under which of the following tab. So I think most of you might have chosen one tab, but you can change it under, like for example, I can change my dimension style here in this tab under the home tab, or annotate tab, wherein I can control the dimension style. So you can change your dimension style based on the window that you are using. So I think this was the most commonly missed questions based on your responses. So is there any other questions that we want to take before we switch to the layout and the design standards for drawings?
Guys, any questions?
Yeah, I remember seeing one question was how to increase the text size. So you can increase your text size. For example, if you select, you have to, like for example, if you go to a multi-line text, and then you can select manage text styles. And then what you have to do is you have to control the height of your text. You can enter 30 like how we have now, and the width factor and the oblique angle, like the angle you want your text to be placed at when you are using your model space while doing your drawings. So you can use the height, width factor, and oblique angle to control the way the drawing appears or the text parameter appears in your drawing space. This is how you can set the text standards to increase the size of the text.
Yeah.
So was that
So there's this question from Surya, like how to fix the scale.
how to fix the scale? Okay, so this is like a good question. So that this question leads us directly to the layout tab. So for example, we will discuss the layout tab like quickly in the recent like let's say like the next subtopic. So you can see that we have when we are in the model space, we have the model space appearing here, and then when we get to the layer, it is switched to the paper space. And then if you double click, you can see there is a scale, metric scale, it has appeared. So you can use this icon to say scale to fit, or you can use let's say like let's say 1:1 to make the drawing appear to the realistic scale, or you can use your mouse icon to drag to adjust your view in your layout space to adjust your view scale. So view scale is something, a parameter that we use specifically when we are placing our drawings in a layout window for presenting in the form of printed or plotted drawings. Uh, you can in the model space, you can add current scale, you can use the current annotation scale to the objects. You can make a particular object annotative and then add a current annotation scale to your model elements itself. Or you can quickly measure like a scale list. For example, you can control the list of scales. So for example, if you are using a imperial unit system of drawings, you have a scale in the form of 1/8 inch, 1/16 inch, or it's a 1 feet to 1 inch. The standard layout scales that you can create so that you can control the way your drawing appears based on the standard layout scales. Or if you're using a metric system of drawings, you can use either 1:1 or 2:1 or 100:1 based on the way you configure your drawings. And you can create a scaled list that will help you to manage the way the scale appears in the drawing space. So we will discuss this in detail in our next subtopic for the day, which is how to like add layouts and how to control our drawings in the layout window.